This is the AFERIY P210 portable power station, a pretty impressive piece of gear I've been spending a lot of time with lately. When I first opened up the box, what really struck me was its modern, streamlined design and just how substantial it feels in your hands. The unit itself is compact but very solid. It has a dark gray finish, and the built-in handle fits perfectly for lifting. Although with a weight of about 54 pounds, I have to admit it's heavier than I expected for something I'd call portable. That said, it's not much bulkier than a mid-size cooler, so it fits easily in the trunk of my car or the back of my SUV. Looking at it, the AFERIY P210 honestly feels like it was designed with real-world needs in mind. All the ports are lined up right on the front and easy to access, and nothing feels flimsy or like it might break after a few uses. It definitely gives me that sense that it's made to last, which is important if you're spending the kind of money these cost. The digital display is bright and easy to read, showing the battery level, input-output wattage, and even how many hours you have left if you keep using whatever devices you've got plugged in. For someone new to power stations, all the key info is right where you need it. From my personal experience testing this power station out, both indoors and outside, I've come to really appreciate what it offers. For anyone still getting used to terms, a power station is basically a big battery pack. You can use it for backup power at home, on a camping trip, or wherever you need electricity without plugging into the wall. The big question I had was, does the P210 really deliver steady power for the things I actually care about running, like my laptop, fridge, or even a small coffee maker? I was pleasantly surprised. With 2048 DDU and a strong 2400-watt inverter, it ran my home refrigerator for several hours during a recent test and easily handled a full-size laptop, my phone, and a portable fan all at the same time. The pure sine wave output means I didn't have to worry about damaging anything sensitive, like my gaming laptop or external hard drives. Now about those key features. For me, the number one highlight is the battery. The AFERIY P210 uses what's called a life-before battery, lithium iron phosphate for short. Compared to regular lithium-ion, this tech is safer in terms of not overheating, and it can be recharged way more times, over 3,500 cycles according to the specs. What that means for someone like me is that it'll last for a decade if I use it now and then, even if I rely on it more during emergencies. Knowing that it's not going to just crap out after a year or two is genuinely reassuring. The company claims up to 10 years of daily use before capacity starts to drop off, and after a month of pretty regular charging and discharging, I haven't seen any loss in performance. I also really like how flexible the charging options are. You can plug it into the wall, which charges it up super quick, use solar panels if you want an off-grid camping or RV setup, or even top it off using your car. During a power outage, I managed to keep my phone charged, keep a couple of LED lights going, and run a small fan for most of the night. And when I plugged P210 back into the outlet the next morning, it charged up way faster than I expected. The quick charging feature actually lives up to the name. Another thing I have to mention is the number of ports. The P210 offers way more connection points than some of the other portable stations I've used before. It's got 6 SEEK outlets for things like a mini fridge or a TV, several USB ports, including high-speed Type-C, great for modern laptops and tablets, some DC outputs, a car outlet, and even the rarely seen XT60 port for certain specialty gadgets. From my experience, it lets you power or charge basically everything you'd bring on a weekend camping trip, and even more if you're using it for backup power at home during a blackout. I had friends over for a backyard movie night, and we ran a projector and some speakers off the P210, plus charged up a bunch of phones at the same time without any issues. The smart features are honestly a big upgrade too. I downloaded the AFERY app, connected via Bluetooth, and could check all the stats on my phone, from power output to temperature to remaining runtime. It even lets you adjust settings remotely, so you don't have to get up and fiddle with the unit itself once it's in place. While I'm not a huge fan of apps for everything, in this case, it adds some really helpful convenience, especially when I'm monitoring battery use in the middle of the night or from across the campsite. There are a couple of other things I think are absolutely worth highlighting. The unit is nearly silent while running. Seriously, it's quieter than a mini fridge, and when I had it next to my bed during a test, it didn't wake me up once. That's huge for anyone planning to use this while sleeping, whether you're camping or just trying to get through a storm-related blackout. Another feature that made me feel much more secure about leaving my computer plugged in is the UPS function. That means uninterruptible power supply. If the power grid cuts out, it switches to battery in under 10 milliseconds, so your sensitive devices stay powered up with no interruption. For me, that's a must-have. But let's be real, no product is totally perfect. What I don't like, the weight is probably the biggest downside. At 54 pounds, I wouldn't want to carry this thing over long distances or if I was hiking into a primitive campsite. Getting it from my car to the yard or even moving it up and down stairs made me pause and take an extra breath. While the built-in handle helps if you're not into heavy lifting, this could be a challenge. I think it's more suitable for car camping, RVs, tailgating, or just rolling out during a power outage at home, instead of throwing it into a backpack for remote adventures. Another minor frustration I had was with the initial setup. While most of the instructions are pretty clear, the display and settings took me a bit to figure out, since there are a lot of options and some abbreviations I wasn't immediately familiar with. The app helped, but I had to go back to the manual a couple of times just to be sure I was doing things right. I wouldn't call it difficult, but for anyone who's not super techy, there could be a little learning curve at first. The size might matter to some folks looking for something ultra-compact. I'd say this is portable in the sense that you can carry it to the car or wheel it around the house, but if you need something to actually pack and go on foot, this probably isn't it. However, for its capacity and power, the size is what you'd expect. In conclusion, if you're after peace of mind, backup power for home, or reliable electricity for camping, the AFERIY P210 has just about everything that matters. Big battery, lots of ports, super quiet, and smart app controls. I'd recommend this for anyone who needs plenty of output to keep several things running at once, or who wants something that'll last years, not just months. It might not be the lightest choice, but the trade-off is real capacity and durability. In my opinion, this is perfect for anyone who wants to worry less about power during emergencies, travels, or even just outdoor movie nights with friends. If you found this quick review helpful, please subscribe to the channel and drop your thoughts or questions in the comments below. Thank you for watching.